A, meeting opening. A, call to order. A2, adoption of the agenda. Are there any consent agenda items that a board member would like to have discussed as an action item? Hearing none, do I have a motion that the governing board that the governing board adopt the meeting agenda?
I move that we adopt the meeting agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Contras. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Santana. Any discussion? No. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. We will now go to B, study session. B1, mandatory training. All right, we're back and we will be moving along to C1, Pledge of Allegiance and Moment of
Flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will now observe a moment of silence. Thank you. Moving along to D, presentation, D1, summer school update. We will have a summer school update presented by Ms. Cohen. Slogan. Dr. Slogan.
I am presenting on behalf of Ms. Cohen. She is with us today. Good evening, President Navarra, Superintendent Mayas, and members of the Governing Board. I want to start this year's summer school overview by sharing that AESD's District Integrated Action Plan includes 4 main focus areas: curriculum assessment, MTSS intervention and extension, and collaborative structures. Summer school presented a wonderful opportunity to build efficient and effective programmatic, organizational, and budgetary systems aligned to these 4 focus areas. During the planning process and throughout summer school, district adopted programs were used to instruct math and ELA lessons. 100% of our full program students were pre and post assessed. Pre-assessment literacy data was used to inform instructional groupings, and summer school teachers were supported by providing carefully crafted, standard aligned daily lesson plans in both math and reading. These elements strongly integrate and align with our 4 district focus areas. Celebrating our success and extending gratitude to those involved is so important. We thank our students and families for demonstrating strong attendance and participating in each site's summer school showcase. Teachers and support staff aligned with summer school schedules and the needs of our students daily. Our incredible district coaches and specialists provided carefully crafted daily math and ELA lesson plans for teachers to implement throughout the 4 weeks of instruction. Transportation and child nutrition didn't miss a beat, busing and feeding our students and community throughout the summer school. I would also like to highlight this year's summer school facilitators, our assistant principals. We empowered our assistant principals to lead summer school, which built their instructional leadership skills without incurring additional costs, leaving more funds and materials for students in the summer program. Elisa Sagala, assistant principal at Barcelona Elementary, experienced this firsthand, and I would like to invite her to the podium to share a few words aligned to her experience facilitating summer school.
Good evening, President Navarez, Superintendent Mayes, and members of the Governing Board. My name is Elisa Zagala, and I am the Assistant Principal at Barcelona Elementary School. Due to this time of year, summer planning was in motion. APs were very busy. However, through strong collaboration with educational services, we were able to deliver and implement solution-based critical thinking that resulted in strong collaborative processes and impactful experiences for our students and staff. Throughout the summer school program, we had tools in our pockets such as wait lists and attendance incentives, ensuring that our students were equipped with all that they needed to learn. We multitasked and problem solved, and students remained engaged and supportive. I will hand it back to Ms. Cohen.
The new Ms. Cohen. Again, I would like to thank teachers, staff, and students for their contribution to making Alhambra's 2025 summer school program a success. There were many program highlights to summer school, and I would like to share just a few. Alhambra ensured students who demonstrated a need for increased opportunities to bolster their literacy and language skills were invited, meeting the needs of our multi-language learners and Title III requirements. Through strong collaboration between supplemental programs and federal projects, we maximized budgets where planning and implementing summer school, coming in under our anticipated budget. As evidenced by data, over 90% of our full-time students made growth from pre to post assessment in literacy-focused areas of fluency, comprehension, and the oral phonogram assessment at Spalding sites. Assistant principals kept a laser eye focus on attendance to keep class sizes as close to 20 as possible and used efficient systems to add students when there showed a dip in the count. One of the most exciting additions to the program this year was the integration of financial literacy into our summer program. A huge shout out to our literacy instructional assistants who connected high quality text to financial literacy curriculum, providing that real world connection for our summer school learners. So one word could describe Alhambra's 2025 program: balanced. By ensuring 45-minute math and reading blocks were instructed each and every day, coupled with rotating enrichment, mystery science, library, and financial literacy unit, students engaged in a balanced yet impactful summer learning experience. As you can see in the picture at the bottom left-hand side of your screen, students in Ms. Becker's summer school classroom were busy making butter to extend and enrich their learning. Would you like to do a demonstration? No. In the spirit of reflection and continuous improvement, we sought feedback from our team. A few highlighted items are, first, ensuring we continue with the balanced approach to summer school, learning through both academic and enrichment course options that students perceived as fun. Inviting prospective summer school teachers to join us in think tanking, summer learning, and reviewing materials and resources during the planning process. Also, continuing to offer our Alhambra community access to meals during summer school and providing those high-quality transportation services. Also, ensuring our summer school facilitators are supported with logistical and/or task-related items that can be completed at the district level. As we begin planning for our 2026 summer program, this feedback will be valuable in ensuring another successful summer of learning. So in addition to our traditional summer learning program, we offered a new program for our English language learners. The High Intensity Summer English Language Development Program, or HISEP for short, was a highly competitive grant that secured additional Title III funding to provide incoming 3rd through 6th grade students who are currently performing at the basic or intermediate proficiency with intensive targeted English instruction. The intent of this program is to help ensure students are ready to pass the AZELA and demonstrate their excellence in language. As you can see, the program focused on 3 main components, including students learning how the English language works, students learning and applying the form and function of language, and both teachers and students learning and implementing specific methodologies aimed to bolster language comprehension. I could share more with you about the HISEP. However, it is the very teacher leaders and their instructional coach who can really capture and articulate the essence of this program and the impact it has made on students and staff. I would like to invite Angelica Garcia, Alhambra's HISEP lead facilitator and Westwood Elementary site academic coach, to share a little bit more about the program.
All right. Good evening, President Navarez, Superintendent Myers, and members of the Governing Board. My name is Angelica Garcia, and I was the lead instructional coach for the HISEP team this summer. As a HISEP team, we committed to weekly training and daily instruction that was implemented with consistency and fidelity to very specific English language development instructional methodologies. We were observed and provided feedback regularly, allowing us to adjust instruction for multilingual learners in our classrooms. Most importantly, our HISEP team intentionally questioned students at high levels as they applied new ELD strategies, and we required them to think critically as they applied those strategies and connected them to texts and resources within our HISEP classroom. The result, all right, there we go. The result, in just 4 weeks of instruction, as you can see on the screen, Alhambra's participating students experienced statistically significant gains in literacy achievement from pre to post assessments. Many of Alhambra's full-time HISEP students demonstrated 20 to 27% growth. HISEP shows us that it can be done if we raise the bar on planning and instruction and student ownership. I would now like to invite one of our HISEP teachers, Josie Garcia, up to the podium to speak about what the HISEP taught us as educators aligned to planning and instruction.
Good evening, President Navarez, Superintendent Mayes, and members of the governing board. My name is Josie Garcia, and I was a HISEP teacher. I would like to take the moment to share with you how HISEP taught us to plan and instruct differently to ensure we were meeting the needs of multilingual learners in our classrooms. While aligning teaching and learning to grade level expectations, HISEP taught us the importance of ensuring daily learning schedules was comprehensive and that learners were able to rotate through each and every part of the schedule, much like a puzzle. So they did not miss critical elements aligned to language comprehension. Additionally, through the use of push plans, the instructional lesson plans we designed through HISEP, we pre-planned our questioning, integrated the methodologies we learned during training, ensured specific texts were connected to those strategies, and ensured students were consistently engaged in high levels of thinking and discourse. The planning and instruction was incredibly intense during this initial week of HISEP, but much like riding a bike, once we were able to see the impact the push plans had on teaching and learning, and once we saw the light in the students' eyes when they leaned into the productive struggle of high expectations, then met those expectations, those push plans became our anchors and compass for success. This truly is the level of planning and instruction that ensures all students are learning at high levels. I would now like to invite my colleague, Lisa Combs, up to the podium to share a few words aligned to how HISEP supported teachers and ensured a very strong connection between professional development, feedback, and student outcome.
Good evening, President Navarez, Superintendent Mayes, and members of the governing board. My name is Lisa Combs, and I was a HISEP teacher as well. A cornerstone of the HISEP program and paramount to the positive outcomes we saw as a result of the planning and instruction Josie just shared was the ongoing and embedded training and feedback we received throughout those 4 weeks. Each week, our HISEP team attended PD delivered by the designer of the HISEP program, where we first discussed our reflections from the previous week and explored the kinks and questions related to the HISEP methodologies we had taught and implemented in the classroom. This level of training created a space for us to gain clarification and ample practice with any of the strategies we were feeling we could use additional layers of support with. The second half of each training would introduce us to a new methodology that was modeled and discussed by the trainer. We would add this new method to our toolkit and were expected to transfer it to instruction the following week. Additionally, at each training, we had time to develop our push plans and integrate the new strategy with existing strategies and resources we were already using in the classroom. Equally important, the HISEP trainer and her team observed us in the classroom as we transferred these strategies to practice. We were provided real-time, on-the-job feedback during these observations. This feedback was specific and actionable, allowing us to adjust our practice if needed. We raised the bar on teaching and learning, and our HISEP students were able to reach up and grab it due to the support of ongoing and embedded professional development and feedback we experienced throughout the HISEP program. Angelica and Dr. Slover will conclude with our collective vision and next steps aligned to HISEP.
In conclusion, both of our summer school programs were balanced and had positive outcomes on student learning. At this time, we would like to thank the governing board, Dr. Mayes, and the AESD team for supporting our concurrent programs and trusting in our district team to deliver an impactful summer school experience for students. And with that, we can take any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Dr. Slover. Any questions from the governing board or any comments?
Thank you for that comprehensive report. It looks like it was a very successful program, and I think that there's a double whammy here. Not only did the students learn, but the staff learned strategies that they can use for the rest of the school year as well in years to come. I appreciate the planning and the follow-up and the observations, all that is so important to making a program be successful. One of the things that stood out was that you planned your questions, and I've always made a statement to our staff that that was so important. Otherwise, you just get simple yes or no answers. So I appreciate that you focused on being sure you had high-level questions to ask. The thing I don't really see is how many students we served. And I have a question about how we served our students with IEPs that had extended summer school needs.
Yes, and we can get you the number of students.
Okay.
We do have, we had as many, if not more students than we expected. So that much I can
Perfect.
tell you, but we will get you the number. for
And the
that.
attendance rate was very high.
Yes.
That's impressive because I know in other years, it's kind of like, oh, I have to go to summer school. So we've turned the corner on that. Yay, I get to go to summer school,
Yes.
which I think is very important. So thank you. I appreciate all of your reports and all your hard work you put into that.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo.
President Navarez?
Yes, Mr. Contras.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for the presentation. I'm sad that I didn't wear black or red today.
Plan.
It seems like the color of the day. So send that out in the memo next time, please. And I'm going to slide number 8, the student growth and achievement data. So am I understanding that this is for 18 students that we had data for previously that we could do a post-assessment for?
Yes, and they were pre and post assessed.
Okay.
Yes, so students who showed up for the pre and the post test of the summer program.
Okay, and then you'll be able to provide us what percentage of students that is of the overall?
That was, so the 18 students are the ones who attended the HISEP program.
Okay,
But we can crosswalk their data for this to their Azella data to see how they do once they take that
Okay.
in the spring.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Contras. Anything? All right. Yes, I do appreciate the comprehensiveness that your team has shared with the summer school experience. I also very much appreciate just the intentionality of it all, growing from last summer school to this summer school, shifting some things around, and then also providing some really good measurable data. I look forward to seeing kind of a year-to-year base of what we've learned, and also to just keep inviting our students and allowing our families to have this opportunity. So thank you very much for that. And I think that's all I have here. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to emphasize that I want some numbers besides just these HISEP students.
We will get you the
Because
numbers.
it's a lot of money and it
Yes.
doesn't service just 18 students. So we need to know, I need to know the broader picture here.
Yes. we will
And
provide that.
including the IEP students and the students that were needed extended summer. Thank you.
Yes, no problem.
President Navarez?
Yes, Mr. Contras.
I also wanted to just emphasize and thank the entire AP team. It's really good to see your leadership. And it's really good to see you all come together as a team and as a group in order to provide excellent education to our students. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving to E, public comment. We have public comment, and it's from Ms. Shauna Becker with representing ADEA. You have 3 minutes.
It's not on. I never can tell. Oh, that I can tell. So I have Jocelyn Thomas, who is our vice president, Danielle Smith, who is our secretary, and then Nicole Smith, who is our treasurer. And then our area directors, Michael Reppenhagen and Kate Malone. Together, we make up your ADEA exec board. We're still looking for a couple more members to fill a couple positions, but we just want to let you know who we are and that this year our theme is an additional layer of support. We plan to continue to strengthen our connections with district stakeholders by holding monthly meetings with Dr. Myers and Dr. Slover. New to this year, we're meeting monthly with Claire Perry for Human Resources and Michael Rivera. And we've met with many other people across the district this summer. Additionally, our site representatives and our area directors will help build connections on campuses,
by meeting monthly with members and our administrators. And the purpose of these conversations is to ensure what is best for students and staff remain at the front of every decision that we make. We will lead and support professional development for both members and non-members this year, because when educators grow, our whole community benefits. Over the past year, in collaboration with district leaders such as administrators, Dr. Myers, our site representatives, we've created a new concerns process map, which if you saw the post, it's in there, where staff were introduced, and staff were introduced over it in the past few weeks at our back to school trainings, and some of our site reps even had the opportunity to present it themselves. This is the new Alhambra way of addressing concerns and issues with clarity, respect, and transparency. So our mission can be summed up in 5 words. It spells leads. We want to lift, empower, advance, develop, and support. We want to lift the quality of public education by advancing instructional opportunities and promoting the academic and personal welfare of all of our students. Empower educational professionals by advocating for safe, healthy, and supportive work environments and by promoting strong ethical standards and continuing professionalism. Advancing education by upholding high standards, fair personnel policies and practices that reflect the integrity and status of our awesome profession. Develop equitable employment benefits, improve working conditions, and protect strong retirement systems. Support our members through collective action, collaboration, partnerships, and unwavering dedication to their dignity and value that they add to our district. We thrive on collaboration and are so excited to continue and grow it this year. And with the additional layer of support as our focus, we are ready to continue advocating, connecting, working, and supporting so we can make Alhambra even more of the best place to work for our educators, our students, and our community as a whole. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to more collaboration and continued support. Have a great night.
Thank you, Ms. Becker. Comment, right? Moving to F, consent agenda. I call for a motion that the governing board approves consent agenda items F2 through F21.
I move that we approve the consent agenda items F2 through F, there's like a bazillion of them, F2 through
21.
F21.
Thank you, Ms. Teocampo. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Santana. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passed. All right. Moving to G, Business Department, G1 Financial Report, and that is submitted in your board packet for review. Moving to H, Comments and Communication. H1, comments from governing board members.
President Navarez.
Yes, Mr. Conchas.
Welcome, everybody, to a new school year. I'm really excited to see all of our fresh faces and everybody getting their classrooms together. Thank you to all of you here in the audience and all of you that are listening for all of your hard work in welcoming our students. We know that it's not easy, and we know that a lot of you pull money out of your own pockets to make sure that your classrooms look great. And I just want to give my support 100% to everything that you all are doing and just say that I really appreciate all the service that you're doing to Alhambra. Thank you, President Navarez.
Thank you, Mr. Conchas. Any other comments?
I would echo. I know that you all spent money out of, because I've seen you at Target. I know you're all spending money out of your pockets to make sure that your rooms are beautiful and that your students have everything that they need. I appreciate your dedication. I love that I've seen on Facebook and all the social media pictures of all of you doing successful and wonderful things, greeting the students and bringing them back. Just keep up the good work. I know you are all such wonderful educators and that you're doing so much to keep our students learning and successful. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo.
I do thank everyone. We visited the night of the back to school night, and we saw many of the classrooms, and they were decorated very beautiful. So I thank everyone for doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as Board Member Santana said, we were able to visit a good handful of schools, about 5 schools, and we were able to see some families and some staff welcoming back some students. Everybody just seemed so excited. The building was just so lively. We even got a chance to see as many libraries as we could, so that was very neat. So we look forward to seeing all the spaces filled with just learning and happiness. So thank you for that. H2, comments from superintendent and executive team.
Good evening, everyone. This evening, we'll begin our comments with Dr. Slover.
Governing Board President Navarez, Dr. Maez, and Governing Board members. We too have been so excited to visit our classrooms and see the amazing things teachers are already doing. I had the pleasure of walking 2 kindergarten students' class, which made my day to make sure they got to the right place. And so thank you as well to our teachers and staff and our administrators as well. So right before school started, we as administrators have really been engaging in the work of the NIET teaching and learning standards. So we participated in a 3-day training that prepared us to become certified evaluators for the 25-26 school year. What we loved most about this training is the focus on student-centered learning and student ownership of learning. We also appreciated the focus on providing teachers with the support and guidance to do what they do best, which is teach our students. We are already seeing evidence of the NIET teaching and learning standards in our school sites, including professional development and teacher learning. We look forward to growth and learning this will bring to our students this year. Thank you.
Good evening, President Nevares, Governing Board members, and Superintendent Dr. Maez. I am thrilled to provide a follow-up from our AESD Community Health Fair that happened yesterday. It was tremendous. We estimate over 1,000 attendees. They touched just about every corner of the Phoenix metro area. We had all ages, from babies to the more mature. And we were able to provide so many resources that they could take advantage of. We also had over 15 school districts represented at our, and yes, we were marketing our district and how wonderful it would be if they came here. But we had not just vaccinations, which I think was the greatest intrigue why people came, but we had sports physicals, dental exams and dental care, vision referrals, mental health counseling, and teen crisis support. We had biometric screenings for all ages, mammogram referrals, asthma education, nutrition guidance, insurance navigation, the Head Start program information. And then families were able to take home things like Narcan kits or hygiene kits and fresh veggie bags. And I think there was a how to make your salsa veggie bag, which sounded really yummy. But it wasn't just about services. It was about the connection and the compassion. And one of our BCBS, Blue Cross Blue Shield partners, it was so touching. She was just looking at the line that wrapped around the building the entire time. People showed up at 1 o'clock. It didn't start until 3, and we didn't leave till after 7. And as she was looking out at the line wrapped around the school, her eyes were tears because she was overwhelmed with realizing the need that our community has. And she wasn't the only one. We had many partners that felt the very same. So afterwards, they were talking with Mr. Rivera, Ms. Wagner, Ms. Horton, Ms. Stengel about what more can we do in our district because the need is there. They were very passionate. So the talk's already beginning of what more we can do to provide to our community, to our families, and to our schools. So thank you.
Good evening, President Navarez, Governing Board members, and Dr. Maez. We've got a lot of really great, exciting things happening this week in Alhambra. I want to share one additional thing that happened just yesterday. We had our very first support staff orientation of our school year. Our support staff employees are such a valued part of our community and do such important work in our schools. We had 38 attend yesterday. We're really excited about that. I want to thank our classified support team, Cecilia Hernandez and Roxana Avila. They led our new group of employees. They participated in some team building activities activities, explored our district handbook to learn more about the services and things that being part of our Alhambra community and team. They learned about their retirement and their benefits, their employee portals, all those great things that our new employees have questions about. So we're really grateful that our support staff, that these folks have chosen to support our students in schools. We look forward to all the excellence they bring to support our communities and really making them feel part of our team. They're very valued. So we're excited, and we'll have about one every quarter. Thank you.
Thank you. President Navarez, members of the board, and Dr. Myers. Over the past few days, I've had the privilege of riding along with several of our outstanding bus drivers. Big shout out to Ms. Deidre, who's been with us for over 20 years, Mr. Jorge today, over 20 years, and then Carmelita, who was perfection as a bus driver. I am so in awe of their professionalism, their skill, the care they exhibit for our students, and it has been a pleasure to ride with them. I will be continuing because it takes a team to make those buses run on time, and that involves many, many factors. So we are super fortunate to have such a dedicated transportation team. I wanted to also respond to a few of your requests. We're really excited about our new district website, and you've probably noticed it looks incredible. The Comrail team has been working for months to get the information ready for that transition, and family and staff are really telling us that it's really easy to navigate and more accessible. We're going to be sharing a presentation as requested in our next board meeting to highlight some of the features. So I wanted to let you know that that was coming. And then upcoming in our next study session, we'll be sharing an update about our five-year strategic plan, highlighting what we've accomplished so far and where we're headed. We're excited to reflect on our progress and discuss the next steps in reaching our outline goals for our students, staff, and the community.
Good evening to our Governing Board President, President Navarez, and to our Governing Board and Dr. Maez. I'm excited that our teachers are completing their Leader in Me first 8-day wrap-up paired with PBIS practices, which we've worked on now. This is year 2, and they're setting the tone for safe, structured, leadership-driven school year. The key moves have been teaching and modeling those 3 to 5 expectations wrapped in the 7 habits of Leader in Me, using visual aids and predictable routines, praising positive behavior, and providing calm spaces and restorative responses to our students. 2 examples I want to lift out today. One is a primary example. I was in Miss Ruth Alvarez's room where she was using what I'm calling the movable, detachable schedule. It was a beautiful supportive aid for predictable routines, and it guided her students to move transitionally from snack time to math time, and everyone was clear of the process. And then Miss Malone, who is our area director, who shared with me her dynamic calm space where her own personal companion, animal companion, her puppy, leads the strategies for our students in how to breathe and how to relax. I am excited that an intentional start like this is definitely building culture on our campuses, relationships, and the routines that will make academic success and ease this year. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you everyone for those updates. I have a few updates myself, and I'm just so grateful, honestly, as I think about all that, just all the hard work I'm privileged to see every day in our schools. And so, and even this evening, I'd like to thank the team of staff. I know you've worked hard all day just supporting our kids, and to think that you're here to be able to highlight some of the great work that you did this summer. I'm just grateful for your time, your dedication. And as I've been listening to you, what I'm most grateful for is you can see just how much you enjoyed learning yourself. And I know it was a bit uncomfortable, and I heard some of the stories, but yet so eager to learn. And we know that for our kids to learn at high levels, the learning does begin with us. And I'm just so grateful for your dedication and your willingness to be vulnerable and learn together, and just, again, your dedication to excellence for our kids. So thank you all. Some other things that I wanted to just share is last night as well, for me, I was just so grateful for the teamwork that went into creating such a successful event. So Mr. Rivera, I know you led that work, and with Ms. Gonzalez and Ms. Wagner, I know it was hard work. And Gabriel, where are you? Or is he in? Okay, yeah. And it was a lot of collaboration. And the one thing that just made me so thankful, so proud, as various partners were coming up to speak to me, was just they just kept highlighting how impressed they were with our team. They were so amazed by the commitment of the staff, the care for the community, and they just emphasized that. And Melissa, I don't know when you saw the tears from one of the Blue Cross Blue Shield partners, but when I was speaking to her, she was also in tears, or just with her eyes, and you could tell she was holding them back. And what she was sharing, what most stood out to her was the trust our families have in our community, and that's because of you and the hard work, the heart that you show every day. And she just was, she couldn't believe. She said they've had a lot of other events in other areas, and people haven't been coming out because they don't feel safe. But she said, but here it's evident your community trusts you. And so thank you all for the hard work that you do, and the again, the care and the love that you give to our community every day. Some other highlights as I've been visiting campuses have just been with many of you sharing how it's been the smoothest year. You know, so many of our leaders, when I appreciate Ms. Stevenson, you were one of the ones who said it was like the best first week ever. And so, and I know a lot that wasn't by accident. A lot of intention went into support, being very clear on with our students and staff, being very clear, setting expectations. And so we're seeing a lot of structure, a lot of predictability for our kids, which is so important. And so, and I know even Mandy, another bus ride where we're hearing Barcelona was highlighted. I was thinking about you, Ms. Zagala, leading over there. That bus driver said that they're best students ever, and so they're on the bus, and I'm sure they'd compete with that. You know, but again, your hard work is showing, and we're just so grateful. Another thing I'm really excited for you to hear more about soon is the work that's going that Ms. Wagner's leading with parent engagement. And I want to welcome Mr. Nicholas Lorenzana, our new parent volunteer coordinator at Granada West. Thank you for being here this evening, and I appreciate the enthusiasm that we're seeing in our team as that team of staff members are looking forward to engaging our parents, empowering our parents, and teaching and just really working alongside them to ensure that they're partners in this process as we educate our kids. And so I know that we're looking forward to a board update here soon, a presentation, but I want you to know that we have really exciting things in store, and I'm very grateful for Ms. Wagner, your leadership in those efforts. So thank you. And lastly, we know that the board has requested a curriculum adoption update, and that's also in the works. And so, and I said that was last, but but I also want to share a lot of you. Thank you for those who've been learning together with the Calm classrooms. Ms. Ragland, I know that was an effort, just even securing the grant to pay for that training. I know that took work along the way. And now that we have that training available today, as I was talking to some teachers, they were saying how grateful they were. Some of the greatest challenges that our teachers are facing are just some of the behaviors that our kids demonstrate. We know that we're here for the kids, and they're why we do this work, but sometimes it can be hard. And so it's efforts like that continue to empower us with the skills and tools we need to be able to support all of our kids. And I thank you all for your hard work. So again, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Maez and executive team. H3, governing board direction and/or agenda item requests.
Mr. President? Yes, I am requesting a new election for board officers at our next meeting on September 11th. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Or not comments, sorry. Agenda item requests. Right. Moving to I, meeting closing. The next governing board meeting will be September 11th. And I know it's not on here, but if for the board members, just stay tuned in case there's a location change, but just kind of keep your emails close. I2, calendar of events. September 1st is Labor Day. And lastly, I3, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Conchas. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Ocampo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.